Kitchen building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show. What's up? Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on their desk. Unaffected by their threats, they get busy on they. See, that's how that shutdown made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. When times is hard, you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show goes on all right. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show goes on. One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the holding back that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to Oakland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a and never be a D-boy. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show goes on all right. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show. So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show goes on all right. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come on the show goes on.
In local sports news, the Pittsburgh Steelers have decided to bench two of their starters on the offense and defensive line. They have decided to bench left tackle Mike Adams, who has been a doormat for opposing defenses this year, and defensive end Ziggy Hood, who's been a doormat for offenses this year. You're listening live to Real Steel Sports, brought to you by James Krasnerick on WSCR Radio. My take on that was, both players are struggling. It's very, very clear at this point that, neither guy really has proven that they have what it takes to succeed and play at a high NFL level. I mean, Ziggy Hood's been a first-rounder in 2009. He's not been, what the Steelers thought when they drafted him. They thought he could be potentially the next Aaron Smith, and that hasn't come true. Mike Adams, however, was the guy who begged the Steelers to draft him last year, even though he got busted for weed. And Really, it turns out that the guy just does not have as much talent as we thought he did. So I guess that drive to Pittsburgh when he was still at Ohio State in order to get them to rethink taking him off their draft board, really, I guess, hasn't bared much fruit, has it? They've replaced him with Levi Brown and Cameron Hayward. Levi was a first-rounder by the Cardinals in 2007 as a left tackle and was traded to the Steelers this week. And Cam Hayward's the first-round pick by the Steelers in 2007. Other football news, Josh Freeman, the former first-round pick from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has signed with Minnesota Vikings. He's slated to back up Matt Castle and Christian Ponder, but I think that anybody who's seen the Vikings quarterback position this year knows that he's thinking bigger and better things, and I think he's got the potential to definitely win that starting job. Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones is more likely done for the year. He broke a screw in his surgically repaired foot during Monday night's loss to the New York Jets. The Washington Redskins are again under scrutiny for a possible name change. President Obama addressed that it is something that he would very much like to look into. For one, though, I think the government shutdown is a little bit more urgent, and number two, he doesn't know the facts. The Redskins PR guy, Lanny Davis, broke it down for Mr. Obama and said that on a national sample of Native American people, 9 out of 10 said that they were not bothered by the name Washington Redskins. So if they're not offended by it, then what's the point of changing them? Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski is slated to start his first game since the playoffs last year against the Houston Texans when he suffered another injury to his forearm. He has also been having back issues, and it looks like he'll be good to go this Sunday when the Patriots host my New Orleans Saints. The NFL has also decided to have 3 games every year now in London, and I, as a football fan, am very, very much tired of trying to integrate London into the NFL because they're clearly very much not interested. I mean, yeah, they get turnouts, but most of them are just, fans that have enough money to fly across the Atlantic Ocean in order to go watch their team play. The other thing is that they're still discussing the possibility of putting a team in London with airfares and, the way that it's not like we're going to get a lot of British people playing American football, so that's the only way that would work. They'd have to be good too, but nah, they shouldn't put an NFL team in London. They shouldn't waste their time. They got to worry about all those concussion suits from those veteran players. So they got to worry about that instead. One more thing before I go to a break. The Pro Bowl jerseys have changed this year for the NFL. The AFC will have a gray and orange scheme, and the NFC team will have a gray and green scheme. Both jerseys look moderately to severely hideous. I advise the NFL to go back to the way the Pro Bowl jerseys were about 5-6 years ago when they were both straight up red and blue, and I think that was the way we should do it because football is America's game after all, and we have to more or less have red, white, and blue. Unless you wanted to do black and green or something, I don't know. But gray and orange and gray and green, it just doesn't cut it. They just look disgusting, and they really need to upgrade. I mean, I know Nike jerseys are taking over the landscape of football in America. I mean, look at Oregon. CEO of Nike's an Oregon graduate, so they get all their jerseys. They got like 10 different jerseys, half of them nice, half of them hideous. Hope the NFL doesn't take notice and decide to implement 10 different alternate jerseys for each team. Okay, I'm cutting to a break real quick. When I get back, I was speaking earlier about the Steelers, and I'll be back to talk about what I think their aspirations are for the rest of the year, because I'm going to break down every single game of the 12 they have left to go. So, stay tuned.
For you, girl.
walks it and fires. Schneider, the pad save on him. Santorelli shoots off the side of the goal. Now back goes the stand.
Before I went to break, I talked a little bit about how the Steelers have made some changes on the offense and defensive side of the football. But how much will it really impact them the rest of the year? I mean, key position guys like Marcus Wheaton's going to be out a while with his hand injury, and you've lost other players like Pouncey and Foot for the season. It's really going to hurt. It's really been hurting the team so far through 4 games, and they haven't registered a win yet. But I went up and down their schedule, and to be perfectly honest, it doesn't look that good. Well, this week we head to the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. Now, I think we'll win that game because I know New York's playing well, but they're probably riding high off the victory over the Falcons. And the fact that it's a Monday night game, I think, might take a little bit more out of them than if it was a Sunday one. So I think that they're going to be a little bit exhausted. The Ravens will be coming to Pittsburgh the week after that. I think they actually beat them because Baltimore's not really been that impressive this year. I mean, they've really made them. They've only won 3 out of 5 games. They're only 3-2, so they're not starting off as defending Super Bowl champions that comfortably. And the way it looks like they're not so much playing that well. They're more or less getting some mistakes from their opponents. And you look at the teams that they've beaten. They beat Cleveland. They beat Miami. You know, they lost to Buffalo, and Buffalo's got a rookie quarterback. I like us to pretend. I think I like us to upset the Ravens because it's a rivalry game, because it's at home. Then we go out to Oakland, then out to New England to play the Raiders and Patriots. I mean, we lost in Oakland last year, and that was a bad game. But they're a better team right now than they were last year, and we're a worse team than we were last year, obviously. So I can't really say I favor Pittsburgh to go into Oakland and get a victory. I'm going to mark that as a loss, and obviously they're going to go to New England and get killed. I mean, I know New England's playing with receivers with no-name receivers that nobody, not even probably their own families, have heard of. But regardless of it, I think they do enough to beat us because we'll be on the road and playing against a better team than some of the teams we've already lost to. Like, we've lost to Tennessee. We've lost to Minnesota, and New England's better than those teams. So the halfway point, that would put us at 2-6. Then we host the Bills, and I think we win that game because I know E.J. Manuel's a good quarterback as a rookie, but I think we find a way to pull that one out because I see the Steelers' defense getting some pressure on E.J. Manuel because he's been sacked a lot this year in 5 games.